Winter Rose, written by Panwadee, Ponglada K, Ittimakin. Episode 8. As the plane of the Brazilian national carrier, Varig Airlines, was descending over the city of Rio, Iris pressed her face to the window and stared out into the darkness. She saw the lights sparkling in the waters of the bay and the outline of tall mountains, forming a natural defensive wall encircling the city of Rio. Lights flickered from here and there, as if people had lit campfires on the hillsides. Are people here in the habit of having campfires? Iris asked. Cody turned beseechingly to his wife. Pam, help me explain. The fires that you can see come from the settlements of the favela, the poor people of Rio. The favela work as servants, cooks, nannies, or chauffeurs for the wealthy, the Ipanema. After you have been in Rio for a while, you will understand everything better. I see, said Iris slowly. The whir of the DC-10 engines and the vibration as the wheels touched the runway attracted Iris' attention for a while. But as soon as she stepped out of the plane, her excitement at the new experience in store redoubled. The next morning, as soon as Iris awoke, she glanced around the room, unfamiliar with her surroundings. The cool air gushing from the air conditioner had caused her to sleep soundly and wake late, so she hurried to push away the bedclothes from her slender, shapely body. Getting up, she stretched away the final traces of fatigue of the previous day's long flight, and still wearing her cream silk short-sleeved pajamas. She padded over to the door, which led outside. Iris opened the glass door and stepped out onto the balcony. Her brother's house was an imposing Western-style mansion built on a slope. It had all the modern facilities of an American house, with satellite TV that could receive programs from America, France, and England, and a penthouse with a clear view of the beach for housing guests. Staff accommodation was in a separate block. From the balcony of Iris' bedroom, there was an extensive view. In front was a quiet, private beach with 5 grains of white sand sparkling in the bright sunlight. This contrasts with the expanse of the clear blue sea, with the waves, both large and small, surging and breaking on the beach in white foam before disappearing like magic. I will get something to eat, then go out and sunbath for a while, Iris said to herself before going back into the room to change her clothes. Iris tied a colorful scarf sarong style over her scarlet swimsuit, which contrasts attractively with her creamy white skin. Her brown hair was braided into a single braid, hanging down her back, and the tendrils of soft hair framing her face made her look a lot younger than she was. The experience of starving herself until she had to go into a hospital when she was a teenager had made her take better care of her diet, and she had never allowed herself to get ravenously hungry and painfully thin since then. Iris walked down to the dining room, where the remains of breakfast were waiting on the table. The maid must have put it out in the early morning, so everything was now stone cold. She warmed the chicken soup, French toast, ham, and fried egg, and boiled water in the microwave to make herself a cup of instant coffee with Maxwell House, adding milk and sugar. The seductive aroma of coffee soon filled the room, and Ivy ate everything. Then, putting the dirty dishes in the sink, she went out to the beach as she had planned. When she had selected a good place, she spread a large beach towel on the fine white sand and rubbed sunblock on her arms and shapely legs, as she was afraid of skin cancer. The combination of the cool breeze, warm sunlight, and full stomach would have allowed her to sleep if something had not disturbed her content. Oops, Iris said softly when she felt that something had blown onto her, and she quickly sat up, startled. Whose hat can this be? And where has it come from? She asked herself. The sound of an approaching engine provided the answer. A white speedboat, whipping the waves into frothing foam, was pulling onto the beach near to where Irene was sitting. A young man, tall, with black hair, his skin deeply tanned by the sun, jumped out of the boat, then carried a red head onto the beach. She couldn't wear much less than that, Irene mustered to herself, as even from this distance, she could see that the woman was wearing a very skimpy white bikini, a canga, which originated on the beaches of Brazil and became popular around the world. The triangles of cloth were so small that they hardly left anything to the imagination, and Irene was afraid on her behalf that something would slip out into full view. She quickly turned her eyes away when she saw the woman pulling the man's face down to kiss her. Irene did not know how long the kiss lasted. She did not want to be a thorn in that side, so she turned to walk away. However, she was soon stopped in her tracks. Are you intending to run off with my hat? The redhead said, pointing an accusing finger at Irie. Irie herself had forgotten that she was still holding the hat. The anger that she felt welling up inside made her throw the hat down onto the sand. Whoever owns it can pick it up, Irie said harshly, giving as good as she got. See, a crazy girl, no manners. Darling, do something for your little Sophia. The redhead spoke with a distinctly European accent. There are so many other names, so why did she have to be called Sophia, like the famous sex bomb from the past? And she's as covetous as her namesake too. Iris thought, seeing the woman appealing to the man. The idea. What kind of woman is she, regarding others in a bad way? She should be grateful that I picked it up for her, but instead I get blamed. She stood straight, showing her annoyance in the toss of her head, and stared challengingly at the man. When their eyes met, she felt there was something strangely familiar in his gaze, unless she was very much mistaken. The cunning, experienced eyes also contained an element of jest. Huh? Where have I been? Where have I seen those eyes before? I will try in vain to remember. when she heard him speak French to the redhead in a low voice. It really did sound to be the most beautiful language in the world. Irie did not understand the meaning, but heard the woman reply, "Oui?" and saw her expression soften. "Thank you for picking up that hat." The man turned gratefully to the young girl, whose features reflected her original heritage. Her dark brown hair tucked under her white hat. The man found himself unable to stop gazing back into her large brown eyes that still clearly reflected her unwillingness to give in. She gave the impression of an obstinate but cute girl, and a wave of tenderness unexpectedly washed over him. Irie felt a little better that at least he was being polite to her. "That's okay. So, if everything is settled, I will be off," said Irie, quickly finishing the conversation. She picked up her beach towel and walked away without turning to look back at the couple until she reached her brother's house. "Did you sleep well?" Cody asked his sister. "So well that I forgot to wake up. I could see that you didn't come down to breakfast, so I asked the maid to put some food to one side for you. Thanks. You have been out sunbathing? Your skin is getting a lovely tan." Irie's pale skin easily changed color, and she was already showing the beginning of a pleasing tan, which emphasized her Oriental origins and made her look even more attractive than usual. "The beach here is so beautiful and white that I couldn't resist going out." "So, why did you come back so quickly?" Irie felt no need to tell her brother about the small, unimportant incident that had taken place while she had been sunbathing, so she quickly changed the subject. "I'm so excited. I want to see your office and get on with my work, so I will have time for sightseeing at the end of my stay here." "You are only thinking about having fun? You know, there is nothing really to do here except enjoy nature's gifts, sea, sand, and beach. That's in addition to the nightlife that you can't really avoid. There's a party tonight, actually. Do you want to go?" "Pam is worried about her new baby and won't leave her. If you don't want to go, it doesn't matter. I won't force you, but I would really like you to go out and see what society is like here." Even back in America, it had been a long time since Ivy had been out to a big evening social event, so she thought she should take this opportunity to see how people in high society here amuse themselves at night. "I would like to go, but..." "What now?" "Oh, I forgot that you wouldn't have anything suitable to wear. Don't worry, I will get Pam to arrange something for you. Pam is good at anything about fashion and beauty. Actually, she prefers that to administering the business. But what can she do? She's the eldest daughter, so she must manage her parents' affairs. Don't even mention her younger brother." Cody could not resist talking about this topic whenever he had a chance. "How about some coffee?" "No thanks. I had some this morning. I have to go to the office. If you really want to get down to work quickly, you can come with me." "Good idea." Iris sat in the Mercedes-Benz with her brother as they drove down the hill to the hotel, which belonged to Pamela's family. 10-story building situated right next to the beach that was now crowded with holiday makers. Cody parked in the company car park and suggested that they take a walk in the sunshine on the beach first. Pausing under a tree, Iris stared at the scene in front of her. How can people just lay there when it is as hot as this? All karaoke, from little kids to adults, rich and poor, love the outdoor life and feel close ties with the beach. Karaoke have been in Rio since 1565, you know. It's a strange name. It doesn't sound either Spanish or Portuguese. It's actually an Indian word from the Tamil dialect, meaning the village of white people or just white people, and it originally referred to the first Westerners who immigrated here. I have done quite a bit of research into this. Amerigo Vespucci, a Portuguese, brought them here in 1502. After that, Admiral Nicolas Dulong de Villagalion brought 500 French soldiers to take over the island of Guanabara Bay in 1555. It was the first French colony in South America. After that, Portuguese soldiers came and took over this area. Oh, so that's why some people here can speak both French and Portuguese. Some people understand Spanish, Italian, German, and Japanese too. Wow, unbelievable. Have you observed that there is a very international mix here? Black, white, brown, all different skin colors. That's because over 100 years ago, the Brazilian government agreed to sell land cheaply to immigrants from Germany, Italy, and Japan who wanted to come and settle here. The European karaoke have white skin and blue eyes. Some look really Western with tan skin. Others look like Negroes with thick lips and big eyes. But their skin is still white like Westerners. They are referred to as white Negroes. The dark-skinned people in Rio are racially Aruba from Bahia, who immigrated here to escape the drought and aridity of the Northeast in 1877. As for the brown-skinned people, they are descendants of the Bantu people, Negro Slavs who went to live in Minangkabau in the 19th century, when gold was discovered there. But most people here are real Latin Americans, with curly dark hair, black eyebrows, black eyes with long lashes, long noses, beautiful sculptured lips, dusky skin. Quite charming. Who knows? You may even fall in love with one, Irie. He looked at Irie with a knowing smile that made her scoff inside. Huh, there is no way that I could fall so easily for a Latino man. Irie disliked the flirtatious, playboy types of Latinos. Even as she tried to reject her brother's idea, the image of one strong facial Latino came into her mind. Do you see those people? Sorry, Irie had been following her own line of thoughts, so had not heard what her brother was saying. Daydreaming in the middle of the day? What's up? Or is it because you got too much sun this morning? Her brother teased her before continuing. Parents bring their children to the beach until they are really tan. All karaoke have the right to use the beach, whatever their social status. Politicians, businessmen, housewives, or children. Ivy listened to her brother's words as she looked around her. She saw little dark-skinned children running barefoot on the beach, while housewives lay stretched out nearby sunbathing in colorful swimsuits. Many young Carica couples with brown skins were sunbathing on the sand nearby. 2 or 3 businessmen and workers sat talking and drinking cold imported beer, while hordes of tourists alternately strolled on the beach and sunbathed in front of the modern luxury hotels lining the beach. People here enjoy their freedom and they are happy with life on the beach. When they meet, instead of saying, "How are you?" they greet each other. "Tomorrow is a good chance, so let's go to the beach." And the answer is yes. This form of greeting has been around for over 400 years. It's hard to believe that the lives of the people of Rio are so closely tied to the beach. I mused. Before I came to live here, I heard that the Carica love fun more than life itself. That's why they spend so much of their time on the beach. I see. Anyway, let's go into the office, then you can get down to work. Good idea. Irene walked in the sunlight after her brother and entered the 10-story building that housed the company office on the ground floor, in addition to being a hotel. Irene gazed at her own reflection in disbelief. Staring back at her from the large mirror was a tall young lady with a slender, well-shaped figure, wearing a white evening dress encrusted with embroidery and beads, which revealed her well-formed shoulders. Her blooming skin was that of a girl in the prime of her youth and beauty, and the pink glow that had resulted from being out in the sun only added to her charm. Her hair was piled up high, with soft tendrils framing her face. "This will really suit you," enthused Pam, and I returned to look at the short pearl necklace in a dark blue velvet box with matching earrings and bracelet. "It's beautiful, but you don't need to find such beautiful jewelry for me. No one will be interested in me, Pam." "Impossible," retorted her sister-in-law. "This is a big party, so you will make me lose face if you don't go suitably dressed. Turn round, and I will put them on for you." "Oh, you look really beautiful, like an Oriental princess. Cody will be so proud of this little sister this evening." "All the young men at the party will ask to be introduced to you." "Thank you for everything, Pam," said Irene, touched by the sincerity of her words. Irene kissed Pamela's cheek before turning to see her well-groomed brother walk into the room, wearing a black tuxedo. "You look very beautiful, my little sister. The young Carica men will make sure that you are not lonely this evening." "But I don't think I can be compared with the local Latin girls." Irene teased her brother. "Oh, I cannot make comparisons, as your styles of beauty are so different. But whatever, Pam is always the most beautiful woman in my eyes." "You better get out. Better get on your way. If you stand there admiring each other for much longer, it will be late by the time you get there." "Yes, ma'am." Cody kissed his wife fondly before giving his arm to his sister and leading her to the car parked in front of the house. After you, Princess Irie. Have a good time, Irie. I will. Bye. Irie turned to smile at her sister-in-law, then turned to walk side by side with her brother, her heart bursting with happiness.